Creation is a horrible and unexpected place. Listen at your own risk. Welcome to the Immaculate Chaos, an adventure of triumph, mistake, and heartache. Listen as beings unbound by the loom of fate struggle against unseen forces in a reality they barely understand. With intentions blinded by light and a path hidden in darkness, yet another step is taken towards uncertainty. Join battle once again, Anathema, as this story must yet be told.
Hello there.
Oh, hey, what are you doing here?
Point at Crafton.
He's still in town.
Oh. Is she addressing me specifically?
Well, you said hey.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry. We're here to seek an audience with Lord Venro.
Oh, I just left a meeting with him.
How'd it go?
Good, I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, us too.
I hear there was a pretty nasty fight. He didn't fight all of the units. I mean, that would have been the best thing, but, I mean, he's Venro. Sometimes he gets lazy. He calls it tactics. I just call it lazy.
No, he calls it tactics. I call it lazy.
Lady after my own heart.
I like her.
Bull rush. I bull rush everything.
Yes.
So where are you off to now?
Well, I'm heading back to Basket, wrap up a couple of things, send some reinforcements this way, so give Lotus a little bit of trouble retaking the place. You guys start seeing Gratham come from town.
Hey!
Gotham, look who I found.
What are you doing here?
I was in a meeting with Venro.
Oh, you were the meeting. Oh, okay.
Yeah, me and Venro, we go way back. I kind of, put him in the seat of power.
Where did...
Nothing big.
Do you know where he's been?
From what I understand from him, inside a tree.
Huh.
So he did fall out of the acorn.
The acorns were on the ground, but yes.
Could you argue that he busted a nut?
Yep, they all busted a nut.
You good?
All 30 of them.
At the same
Lord.
time.
Lord Venro.
Wait a second.
Lord Venro.
He was in there by himself, busting nuts, with only his imagination, guys.
In a really, really sketchy bush.
In a really sketchy bush. It was a gold bush though, so it was highbrow bush, not lowbrow bush. That shit didn't have mites.
Oh, that's a visual I didn't.
Noise.
No.
Zalia and Ari are walking down. They have a little bit of flush in their cheeks.
Ladies, look who we ran into. It's Dahlia. Why does that name sound so familiar?
You were looking for.
Oh, he's getting dumb again.
Dahlia looks at you. What's up, cuties?
Isn't
I wiggle my eyebrows at her.
She
Dahlia?
wiggles her
Are
tits
you a
at
seed person?
I wiggle back.
She doesn't grab them. She just her tits go.
Same.
Oh, the Terry Crews thing.
Yeah.
Huh, that's a neat trick.
You work on your pecs enough.
Rock?
Yeah. I mentioned to Dahlia, I go, are you a seed person?
A sea person?
Seed.
Not as far as so. When two adults really love each other.
Well, okay. No, our friend Jack here had an experience in the Glade, and he's looking for a bunch of people who have the same names as you and
Okay,
your
I'm
sister.
gonna stop you there because
Or
I've heard
things.
rumors about garden time, and I don't want it. I don't know. Unless I'm involved in it, I don't mess with other people's garden time.
Just by looking at her, would we know if she's like a human or a dryad or something like that?
You guys have never really figured out what they are. She doesn't look dryad. She looks like a human. She specifically is more bronze than the rest of them have been. But Lily was very pale. And Rose looked like sun-kissed. Like, there was parts of her that had a decent color to them. But it was arguably like from extreme heat, being there all the time, working on a forge, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Variegated.
Variegated.
It's a plant term.
Well, apparently you're the seed and the mother of creation.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never really had much interest in seeds.
Same.
I've been more of a, how should we say, flower girl.
Jack laughs.
My kind of
I
lady.
wonder, and I say this out loud to myself, I wonder if planting the seeds means help them on their journey.
I mean, usually planting seeds happens one of two ways.
Oh my.
Hey, Rog, you might have to be the first knight. Catch my drift?
Oh my.
But yeah, I was just in a meeting with Venro. We're gonna send him forces to help him reinforce this area.
Sweet. You having any problems in Basket?
No, they can't get close enough.
Sweet.
They keep sending their skilled warriors, but I mean, you give them one or two little jabs with a sword, and suddenly, oh my god, my spleen.
My spleen.
I laugh loudly.
She winks at you.
Speak.
It's a wonderful working relationship you have here.
Mm-hmm.
Ari.
Maybe
About
we
to
should make
improve
an
it, too.
alliance out of it.
Show you
Look
my
at
flower
this
if you
shit.
show me yours.
Yeah.
Do you say that to her? She like waves at her body, like she's wearing a loincloth. That's all she's wearing.
I'm
Oh,
wearing
like-
my harness of nothingness practically, so I just open the overcoat.
She lifts her skin.
Jack turns his eyes to
I
avoid this.
make my way
Come on,
into the fortress manor.
I was gonna say,
Eat my fruit.
are you getting nose blood all over that fruit?
Yep. Oh no, this fruit's gonna taste mighty irony now.
Yeah.
Now it does.
Maybe it is people fruit.
Well, it's always good to see a fellow compatriot against people who don't like the Lotus Nation, and I hope we cross paths again.
All depends on whether you're needing something in trade. That Blood Oath family keeps us pretty busy. But if you're looking for some solid sources of tans and furs or products that are otherwise harvested from such things, I'm primarily your gal.
No, you're not my girl. My girl would freak out if you were my girl.
Dahlia winks at you. Dahlia.
I hear the term is doesn't play well with others.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what that means, but that's what she said this one time.
Mm.
Actually, I think it was in relevance to. No, never mind. Let's go see Lord Venro.
Let him know Dahlia sent you. That'll set you on the right foot. She smacks Ari on the ass as she walks by.
I'll see you back in basket.
She's walking.
How does Angus feel about all of this?
I'm infinitely confused and a little frustrated.
Also,
I really
just
thought he
doesn't
was
like
going to
to
say
shoot a
uncomfortable.
shot. Or Angus is really bad at shooting a shot.
I think he's really good at shooting a shot. The player, he's got Lily, he's got Rose, he's got. At least he can give Dahlia
No.
to Ari.
And fucked 0 of them.
I mean, no.
Married
fair-
0
To be
of
fair,
them.
all of the other ones have
That is
showed
the bigger
interest in
offense.
other members of the group, and
All of the
only
other ones
Rose
have
has been
shown.
interested in him.
Correct. Lily had a little crush on Jack.
Yeah.
Rose had a very large crush, aggressively so, on Angus. And Dahlia has shown a penchant for maybe like an Ari.
And you almost got to marry the cousin once.
Yeah, hey.
She was very upset when you turned her down. You broke some
Go
hearts.
back and find her.
Gratham's a looker. She showed interest.
Get by.
I give by.
Goodbye.
I lay mine.
I lay mine.
I've already walked off, like headed into the manor, way before she even started saying her goodbyes.
Yep.
started at the flashing.
Yeah, I agree. At the moment that went down, I'm like, yeah, let's go grab him. It's fucking dirty in here.
I will reiterate. Harley did say dragons do one of two things.
Truth.
They just want to make awesome water blood babies.
Water flow babies.
Water blood babies.
And you got a problem with my man-eating frog.
Yeah. No.
So I headed
I thought he
in
was
for the meeting.
man-eating.
Oh, no, we did a little. He likes meat. He's not picky, as long as it's meat.
No, he seemed to prefer. We said human, and he was like, oh.
She realizes the top hat, let me tell you, Cap.
It's from the Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Cusco. Eat Cusco. Don't eat Cusco.
The frog just comes in on Camlin eating a fucking leg, human leg, and he's just like, I see you are also a culture. A man of culture. Anyways, so, y'all say your goodbyes one way or the other. You end up at the gate. They let you in. Who is the leader of your home country?
Ari.
Yeah, the one in the kink suit.
Well, Ari of...
Casateo.
I think I've heard of that before, but okay. Come with me. He goes in, another knight comes out and takes his position. He leads you in. On the other side of the wall is basically a house.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a fortified stone building. Like, it has little saplings for its main structure beams. But primarily, like, the roof is living grass and leaves and brush.
Out of character, is this why it was so easy to overtake?
Maybe.
Okay.
As you go to the building, there's a front door. Someone opens it for you, and they invite you in. Inside, it's a lot different than the outside. You see stone walls and ornate fabrics that look like, they would have been furnished in the city halls of Nexus.
This is a castle.
This is a castle.
It has tapestries.
It has tapestries. Angus would easily take note of at least 2 tapestries that are about a century old.
Okay.
So a lot of the actual things here go back a ways.
Okay.
Or a very long time. Things older than that would probably have degraded by now. But you do see a lot of this stuff has been fairly well maintained.
Yep.
Other than the foyer, there's a bunch of doors, but they don't open any of them. But they lead you past a whole bunch of doors, and then there's a great hall. And at the great hall, you see a couple of lines of, normal townsfolk, bustling here, bustling there, doing different things, mostly cleaning, shuffling through papers, bringing it over to this desk that's kind of set up on the side of the throne. On the throne, you see a gentleman who more or less looks human, except that his skin has this weird oakish hue to it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of what you would normally see as like blue and pink veins, that kind of thing, you see very dark brown veins.
Not green.
Not green.
Okay.
Like amber brown?
Yes.
It's like
Okay.
a reddish brown.
Like sap.
Yeah, like sap. That's amber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a yellowy brown, I guess.
But it's very dark, so you can kind of see it through the skin in multiple different places. But, where normal blood goes. He gets handed sheets and sheets of paper, and he looks through them real quick, and then signs them, and then sends them off. Come in. Person leans real close to him. Ari of Casateo.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Saka. How can we help you?
Well, I heard that you've recently been able to reclaim your castle and run Lotus out of here, so congratulations.
I appreciate that. Luckily, it wasn't like they could really infiltrate here. They couldn't get through the wall. So once we killed a couple of guards that were outside, keeping it and assaulting from here is child's play.
We also share your discontent with the Lotus Nation.
I hear. You all single-handedly designed the destruction of the Fire Nation, I hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we dissolved the Forbidden Glade as well. I'm
Hold on.
hoping that your
Hold
freedom
on.
is
We didn't destroy the Fire Nation. We freed it.
Yeah, you went in, you called it, you caused a huge ruckus, and then Matsumoto launched 2-3 talons against the town and razed it to the ground.
Oh.
So they're all gone. All the people we freed.
Well, there's from what I hear, there's some guerrilla squads that are still hiding out in the wilds.
The Talon.
That's news.
Out of character.
Talons
know?
are about 150 to 200.
Okay. I just.
Basically, think of like a dragon.
Yeah.
So you have nails, talons, and then legs. I think is how it goes.
Is how,
Full
is
dragon.
how he divides his.
Well, that's how the realm does it. So
Okay.
he tries to keep to the realm as well.
Gotcha.
So there's just smaller ones, but
Oh,
like a
it's-
squad is a nail.
Yeah. Okay. Parlance. It's the.
Yeah.
It's the world's parlance for.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so like a talon is, I guess they'd call it a unit in current day. A unit's about 150 people, feasibly. Whereas squads are for the breakdowns of a unit.
How did you hear about How did you hear about who set those people free in the Fire Nation?
Roots. What do you know about vegetation?
Well, I know that I don't like
It grows in dirt.
They're all connected.
Correct.
You speak for the trees because the trees can't speak for themselves.
Correct.
Oh,
And all of the roots touch each other. Before there was Oban, there was tree folk.
gotcha.
Now there's far less of us because things like the realms have went through and burned us to the borders.
That's not
You,
right.
you can't keep order if you can keep information flowing. You have to break up the information and therefore you keep control.
I'm saddened to hear that their town was burned.
From what I understand, it just seemed to prove the point that they served their own destruction through complacency. They allowed it to happen to them. They didn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
Fight back? They didn't.
They didn't maintain integrity. They began to live by the rules of Lotus, whereas people here in Sokka, we weren't given that option. We fought until the last. So much so that, in the end, all they could do was imprison us. Because to openly destroy us would have caused a never-ending war. The people would have fought to the last. We would have been martyrs.
Is it a concern of yours that the same will happen here, now that we've gotten rid of the Forgotten Glade?
Regardless of whether you or someone else got rid of the Forgotten Glade and freed me and my men, it wouldn't have changed anything. This still would have been a trapped land.
Mhm.
Simply freeing us has given us the chance to actually defend our home. Yeah, the waters have tamed, so trade's gonna not be as strong as it used to be. But
What does he mean by the waters have tamed?
so there was a rumor that you guys all kind of ignored, but there was a rumor that the Forgotten Glade, where it was, actually manually changed the flow of the river,
Oh.
and all of the water was trying to flow into the glade. So the waters used to flow south faster, and then the waters going south for several miles actually flowed north on the top, but was deep enough that the water would flow south underneath. So there was actually this riptow current.
Got you. So it would slow down the regression of going one way and speed up going the other way.
Correct.
Huh.
Because all the water was trying to get to the Forgotten Glade.
Hang on a second.
But that was a rumor earlier.
Oh.
And it was one of the reasons why ships started getting shipwrecked, because of the way that this river goes. It's completely unnatural. It goes south and then it like hard curves up north and then goes back south again. But now that the Forgotten Glade is there, or not there, the waters are flowing normally, so they're doing their normal trek. But also means that that part of the river is actually really slow and also really high.
Why were you trapped in there?
That thing calling herself the Lady of Despair.
Oh
you
boy,
describe
that's
her
gonna
to
be
us?
fun.
She describes what you guys would know as Thennegrin.
Ew. I fear we may have met her before.
Her name is all across the Empire.
Yeah, we know her as Thennegrin.
I feel like we're killing her eventually.
Well, you guys all know she's not the real Thennegrin.
Yeah.
We will do what we can to maintain our prominence in our freedom, but the forces of the Empire are vast. They may have lost some men in Fire Nation and continue to lose their men to the guerrilla from those areas, and they will continue to lose men from our resistance, but resist we will. Especially with the help from Picnic.
My town primarily trades in heavy coke. Is that something that would be beneficial to your town?
Not us. That would have helped Fire a little bit. They more deal with metal type things. Us being so close to Picnic, we tend to rely on hides and arrows and stealth and movement. We're not very immobile, heavy equipped forces.
Mm-hmm.
We are trees. We bend. We do not break.
Would what's his name? Would Filbert, be of the type that would make arrowheads and that kind of crap?
He could. You get the sensation though that he's basically saying that honestly they're good. They got everything they need. They really don't need help as far as materials go.
Okay. So then there isn't much I could offer you in way of an alliance, it sounds like.
Nothing that would openly help us at this time. Perhaps if we survive this, maybe we can discuss future terms.
All right.
We are always looking for populaces to sell our food to.
We would possibly be interested. And most of our way of trade is through the river systems, so might be able to pick up that level of trade for you.
Oh hey, I'm negative. Yay.
Yippee!
Well then, if you're confident you can handle things here, then we'll probably head to the next town, see if we can't free them or find out more so we can deal with Matsumoto.
Despite the attempts of apparently everyone, the world is still free for those who are fighting for it. Do whatever you wish, but our independence must be earned by us.
That's fair. Is there anything you can tell us about the town to the north?
Air Nation.
Yeah.
In my time, it was a mining settlement. What it has become since, I don't know.
Okay.
Do we, out of character, do we actually know the way there? Or should I maybe ask him if he has any maps of the area or that sort of thing?
He lists off a couple of trade routes that'll get you there. But you could always also ask the Blood Oath family. They have caravans going to most ports.
Yeah, we have good relations with Dahlia.
In which case, you could probably enlist a caravan if you were so inclined. Otherwise, I would stick to... He lists a couple of different roads and landmarks to mark the roads. Those would probably get you there within 2 weeks. 3 weeks at most.
Okay.
People are taking notes, so I'm just waiting for them to finish.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Rob just isn't here to see you guys doing the thing, so I figured I would mention it to him.
True.
I don't know. Out of character, I can't really think of much more to ask him about.
Okay.
What do you know about the Water Nation?
That's it.
The old... I was about to say...
Bunish.
Well, I was going to say... It was ruins when he was conquered.
Yeah, I know nothing.
Any information on how to...
I haven't heard anything of it. What I can tell you is far to the west, to the edges of the Thousand Kingdoms, there is an area that roots have not been in centuries.
I thought this was Water Nation.
No, this is
This
Wood.
is Wood Nation.
This is Wood Nation.
Oh, right. Okay.
Hence the tree theme.
Soka. Just in case you guys say Wood Nation, anytime you guys say Wood Nation, he will correct you and say we are Soka.
You can translate that.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Ease of speaking.
Yeah.
So we freed Babar and Babar got burned. We've helped them here, and they're gonna fight to the last.
I mean, at the
We're-
least, we're cutting off supplies.
You are.
This is true.
We may not have allies anymore, but they don't have metalworking and a heavy coke trade route.
Correct.
And a slower port system.
Yep. And
And any resistance. And I'm assuming a little here. I'm taking a plague out of Angus's book. I'm assuming that water shift because of the glade was intentional for either trade route or movement route. Because I know if I was going the other way, I would want it to take longer for people to get to me than me to get to them.
Out of curiosity, how come Fire Nation didn't reach out to Kesetea? Did it just happen that fast?
You guys weren't on a formal defense alliance necessarily. Also, it would also depend on how quickly it happened. Also, you haven't been back to Kesetea to double check.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because I did go back to Kesetea for a full day when I brought Angus back there.
But you never asked about Babar.
You think that she wouldn't have said, like, hey, we just got word?
You have.
Like, I was in the
It
house.
was never brought up.
All right. Whatever.
You're more than welcome to go back and check. That would just be a trip to picnic to your residence to use your gate and go back. So that would take a day.
Yeah. I thought you decided that I could just go to Kesetea.
Teleporting to Kesetea is a ritual. You would need to change the demonic form, then do the ritual to cast yourself over there.
Okay.
So yes, you could feasibly do it from right here. It'll take you an hour to do, and you have to be in demonic form, which then requires you to.
I'll just wait till we get back to picnic.
I mean, we're probably gonna head that way anyway. The convo idea doesn't sound terrible.
Okay.
I don't know what everybody else
Is there anything
thinks.
else I could help you with?
Do you have
Not at this time, but at some point I would like to hear more about this route network.
It is difficult to explain to those who can't live it, but I will do my best.
Well, does that mean you know the Lady of the Woods north of Kesetea?
I'm sure our consciousnesses have touched from time to time, though I would not know her directly.
She seems nice.
Most with their roots deep enough have lived long enough to understand that pettiness is worthless. It's usually the young, and he looks at Celine, and the unrooted that tend to be the unruly. Otherwise, a tree is something that is stalwart. It understands that good times and drought happen, and usually in their own turn. We wish you well, and Ari of Kesetea, know your circle's deeds will not be forgotten. We will remember them on the other side of them.
Happy to help.
Mm-hmm.
You always have a friend in Soka.
Happy to be of assistance.
You guys, he bids you guys, away, more or less. On your way out, the guard at the door hands each of you a golden leaf.
Graciously accept it.
Okay.
Anything special about it, or just
Lord
leave?
Benro would like you to know that in Soka, you are to be treated as nobility. Each of your houses, should you wish, will be granted property and lands here in our nation to live and become part of our society, should you so wish. Otherwise, with those, all will know you are a friend of Lord Venro. And nothing less than equity will be enough for his thirst on your pain.
Nothing less.
Appreciated.
Basically, if someone hurts you,
Yeah.
Lord Venro, because you have that, if you openly show that that lead, if someone hurts you, Venro's going to eye for an eye.
Got you. Now, out of character, does this qualify as an agreement?
No.
Okay.
This is
thank you.
a personal promise.
No, it is a way of Venro acknowledging your service to the nation,
Gotcha.
and him giving you something that signifies if you are rude to him, you are being rude to me.
Got you. Okay.
Sorry.
Basically, you'll get better prices, and you'll
Yeah.
probably get a couple of free drinks and free night at the inn. Like,
That's why I was asking. Is what did you say about property and?
if you
land?
wish to become part of Soka, you could feasibly look for property. You would just need to ask to be served lands. But they would be able to furnish you lands and holdings here in town should you wish to become part of society. But all intents and purposes, you are landless lords of...
Okay.
Or landless nobles, not lords. Landless nobles of
We would
Soka.
still need to pay for the lands,
Yeah.
though, correct?
That's not
He's
what he said.
So he would be just giving us if
Yeah.
we were to set
It's
it
an,
up.
it's an agricultural society.
Okay.
So there's probably plenty of land somewhere outside of town that they could locate. Plus, you're pretty sure they just got rid of a whole bunch of fake nobles from Lotus Station.
Yeah.
Would that take a while to set up, or is that something that
It'd
we
probably
can-
take a few days for them to figure out what kind of business were you hoping to bring to Soka in your family's name. What is your family's name, and where would you need your where would your domicile, your estate, best be situated? So, for instance, Ari's real trade is fishing.
Yeah.
Her best estate would probably be on the river. So while nobility is usually in Northward right now, you'd probably be best served in Rat's Alley because it's on the south-serving riverside, and that river goes further south, which would allow you to bring your goods to other locations.
I mean, if people don't mind waiting an extra couple days, I'd just assume set it up now.
Okay. So you want to become part of Soka society?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your family name?
Crap.
Yeah. Oh, right, because I never write this down. I don't know, man. I feel like it's changed from Moonstriker to Moonstrider to like a bunch of random stuff. And what was Obsidian's last name?
So her actual name was something else she didn't go by. She just went by Obsidian. It was Obsidian was actually a nickname.
Oh, okay.
There was a bit of a storyline where she took
What was-
your name.
What was Ragnar's last name? Like, what is my family name?
I never put his family name down because you
because
never
I
gave
never
me one.
gave you one.
Right side, if anybody- Is anyone else wanting to set up estates here?
I want to do a thing about it, but that's going to take a while, and I have to get back to you so I can actually put it into
the
real
thing
words.
is, if you guys are doing it, I can just add the 2 days in now. Because it's going to
Yeah,
take at
yeah.
least 2 to 3 days for you guys to work it out. I'm going to say 3 days if more than one person's doing it.
On a housekeeping note, it's 5 o'clock. Is Treek
Well, we're
pumpkining?
getting to that real quick.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get all of this extra little shenanigans out of the way.
Yep,
So
yep.
is
I'm
anyone
trying.
else wanting to do house stuff? You don't have to situate it right
No.
now. We can discuss it over the next couple of weeks. No, okay. So we're going to keep it at 3 days then. If anyone else wants to throw down on that, that's fine. Just let me know. We're at 22. Okay, then it's a day to picnic. Are you still going to Kesatea?
It wouldn't hurt to get the info.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to Kesatea, which means anyone who goes with her, you guys go to her private residence in Basket. As she walks in, a door opens up out of nowhere. And you all walk through the door, and you guys are now in Kesatea. You guys can get any information if you guys do decide to not switch residence, but actually have your own residence, because she's really the only one that has a manor house, but she really only has a room.
Yeah.
None of you actually have like a house. Ari now has 2, but one's in secret and one's in public.
Yeah.
If you guys decide to set it up, you guys can have that happen. And anything from Kesatea, you guys will be able to take this moment to be like, okay, look, I'm taking this with me. Hand it to somebody in picnic or Basket, and say, hey, can you deliver this to my residence over in Soka?
Yeah.
And handle it that way. So you guys will have that chance. But on the 23rd, Ari, when you go there and you ask her about Babar, she goes, "What do you mean about Babar? I just sent a shipment and got payment the other day."
Retro.
I
We had just heard that after we liberated their town, that it was razed to the ground by Lotus Nation. Do you know who you accepted payment from?
Give me a second. She walks over to the window. She opens up a silver cage with a mask on the side of it, pulls out a little finch, pets it, gives it a little birdseed, and then opens her window and tosses it out. Give me a minute. She goes down, sits down. She signs a couple more pieces of paper, puts it off to the side. The gentleman walks in a couple of minutes. "Yes, milady. Mr. Gentleman, I hear word that Babar has been razed to the ground." "Oh, milady, don't worry. There's just some propaganda going about the Lotus Empire right now. They're trying to make sure that no one really wants to stand up to them. Babar is healthy and fine. The people are subjugated quite brutally, but other than that, they're more or less okay."
Who are you?
The gentleman?
Mm-hmm.
The masked
You've seen
gentleman.
the gentleman before. The gentleman's the guy who wears the mask, and he changes the mask periodically. He's one of the troops. However, you do notice that he has silver tattoos just under his mask. And they are glowing.
He had those before, though, right?
Correct. However, she wasn't there when you noticed them. And no one thought to mention it to her.
Ooh.
Most of us didn't know the significance at the time, probably.
Yes.
Is he employed by us?
Are you asking?
Mm-hmm.
No, Lady Ari. I simply live here, so I owe my allegiance.
To?
Well, to you, of course, the true ruler, but outside these walls, of course, that would be the true and only Lady Eve.
Would I know if that was another nickname for Luna?
No, that he's doing pomp and circumstance for the actual Lady of Casatea publicly. Like, he's acknowledging that he actually knows, rarely, that you are actually the owner of Casatea. There's no one else really knows that outside your circle.
Okay.
But he's saying, but outside these walls, I know that it is Eve who is the owner of Casatea.
Mm-hmm.
And he's simply saying that since he lives here, he owes a allegiance to her.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he owes full allegiance or liege, which is different.
Yeah. So he's saying that it's just propaganda that the Lotus Nation took over Fire Nation again after
Correct.
we liberated it.
Oh no, they didn't take it over. They burned it to the ground. Is what you guys heard.
I asked
Yes.
him very definitively. Do you serve Matsumoto?
No, I pretend to from time to time. It's good for business. Good for information too.
Out of curiosity, are you always in angelic form where they can't lie to you?
No.
But he knows lies regardless
I
of whether he's
know,
in form or
yeah,
out, just
yeah.
like you.
Fair enough.
I can tell if they're trying to be persuaded. The angelic form thing that's just a different situation.
When was the last time you were physically in Fire Nation to confirm this?
Oh, I haven't been for quite a bit. He tends to not like those who hide their face.
So then you cannot say with full certainty that something has not happened. Because I was also in Fire Nation not too long ago.
I can say with 100% certainty, my lady, that the information I'm granting you is, in fact, 100% correct. For it is garnered from those of any kind of stretches, just slightly showing off the silver tattoo of a specific order I belong to.
Well, then someone's giving me misinformation, and I'm not quite sure who, but I don't like it.
That would be Matsumoto. As I said, it is a propaganda campaign. What's better for a order than to say that to acknowledge that someone was uprising against you, because that word would always get out, and that you came against them in the strongest form possible, and then eventually come out the victor of, but look, we in record time fixed the settlement and brought it back to life because we are the best.
I see. So what you're saying is that he's probably lying to save face because he was embarrassed.
Correct. He's not calling Lord Venro a liar. He's saying the information Venro's getting
Was wrong.
is false.
Yep.
Because what he's hearing is false.
Yep. Which seems surprising given the method in which Venro acquires his information. Not saying it's wrong, just...
It's just a matter of how many trees were actually in the bar.
We didn't notice very many.
We saw were fake trees.
Yeah, they were the people trees, weren't they?
Correct.
Which means any information I had would have been... Yeah.
And they were all under illusions.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Thank you for your service and your information.
Very well. He reaches over the counter, takes a silver chip from her. I'll see you next month. And he puts the bird back in the thing and pats its head and walks away.
So, what's good with Mr. Gangland Silver Tattoo dude?
Well,
I've always wondered that myself, Jack.
is that Eve?
You look different.
You look different too. I remember you used to slouch more last time I saw you. It's actually true. If you remember the first time I met him, he didn't slouch, but he kind of moved like
Yeah.
from the depiction, and now he seems way more confident.
Well,
Although he's still a
it's been a trying year, but we are on the up and up. We're turning a profit, and we've been able to expand a little bit. So I would say I am in a better place.
Are you happy being employed through us?
Are you talking to Eve? Because I'm talking to Eve. I was talking as Eve.
Okay.
Eve was like, "But you look different, Jack."
Yeah. Gotcha.
So the gentleman walked out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
That was my fault.
Sorry. I thought I was talking to the gentleman.
No, but Eve says it has been a trying year.
Yep.
But we're doing okay now.
And how is the gentleman treating you?
He's an odd. He always keeps to himself. He's very slippery. But I have never caught him in a lie. And he did. And when you saw him, he was honorable.
Yeah. Okay.
He had that like pure white light of I have never broken my word to anybody.
Yeah.
Type person.
Well, that's good.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Eve as well.
He told the truth. We asked him if he worked for Matsumoto. He said occasionally when it benefits. Yeah.
Eve kind of has like a really nice aura, but it's a little muddled by half truths. So she's honorable, but she's like on that cusp of like doing not shady deals, but wording things in a way that she got the better hand in a business operation.
Yeah. Okay.
Which doesn't make her dishonorable, it just makes her
Not as
smart.
smart.
And Jack's idea, smart.
Smart.
You worded something just right that you got the better end of the deal, and they didn't realize it at
And
the
that's
time.
fine with me.
type of thing. So you guys find out that in Kesatea that more or less Babar is fine. That there does seem to be a heavy boot there now. But other than that, Babar should be okay. There's just heavy propaganda going out, which means that for something like that to more or less happen, that means travel is being heavily controlled as well.
Okay.
Grafton would easily tell you that.
Yeah.
He knows propaganda.
Propaganda.
Propaganda. So you guys then return, I'm assuming, back to Picnic.
I say hi to Luther before we go. Catch him up on everything.
There's a lot of what? No. Really? Wow. And then she did what? And then he growls when you tell him that Dahlia smacked your butt.
You don't want some
Just
of this
making
too?
alliances, baby. It's not a thing. I only have eyes for you.
Wait.
That's a lie.
Is Ari allowed to lie?
It's true. I only want to be with
Jack's
Luther.
Yes.
That wasn't a lie.
So what are you
Flirting
guys
is
doing?
not cheating.
Because
It's
at this
flirting.
point, I'm assuming you guys go back to Soka. And you guys are Picnic. You guys set up the caravan. You guys head out the following morning on the 24th.
Who would we talk to in Picnic to use the root system to get word to
Cousin.
Lord Venro? Okay. I would like to stop there and do that and give him the information that we have received that this propaganda is being spread.
You could also send it with one of my owls.
Yeah, I could do that too. I don't know if Lord Venro would trust the root system more or if it'd be about the same.
So you go to Cousin and you say, hey, I need a message sent to Lord Venro. She goes, okay, what's the message? And as you're talking, she writes it down. She goes, okay. She walks over to the tree and she knocks and the door opens and Sylph's there and she says, can you tell Lord Venro, blah, 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 blah. And Sylph goes, yes. And the door closes.
Okay. If he sends a reply back for any reason, can I have it sent to my house? Yeah, my residence.
Here or in Soka?
Here.
Very well.
Easy squeezy, lemon peasy.
And then you guys head out?
I think we should sleep.
Well, yeah. I'm assuming you guys are sleeping, which is why I'm allotting the time.
Okay.
I'm going to spend some time working on my blood magic, either at my residence or at the, I don't know, it's not really a school, at the house.
I hear you.
At the house where the blood magic happens.
How much time are you spending in Picnic to do the studying? Because that's going to add time.
No, I understand. How anxious is everybody to take off? Did anyone else need time to do anything?
We want to move as quick as we can. So like I'm cool with taking the time to do the shit we need to do like we've been doing, but and like a day or two for the property wasn't a big deal, but other than that we want to try to go as quick as we can because the more time we give him to respond, the better off he's going to be.
All right. I don't really know anything about blood magic because I haven't actually looked at the book about any sorceress, anything.
Blood magic's not in the book.
I understand it's a homebrew, but like I wouldn't know what training times would even be to try and learn anything.
It's all the same thing as charms and abilities. So it's the same thing. Days and weeks.
But I mean, could I essentially like borrow some books or something from there so when we're traveling I can study? Is that something that I could do?
With a residence, yes.
Okay, then that is what I would like to do.
Okay, so you grab a couple of books to do the studying, which is fine. Your training times are going to be normal because you're not at the residence.
No,
so you're
that's
not going to be
fine.
able to like go over there and be like, hey, I had this thing that I was thinking about. Oh, no, you're thinking of it wrong. It's actually, those numbers are flipped or whatever.
Okay.
So your training times aren't going to be like doubled, but your training times will be normal. And you can get whatever materials you need to do the studying on your way.
Okay.
So do you not do the studying then?
Not at my residence, no. I'll just take the books and I'll do it as we travel.
Can I get a survival, perception survival check?
Blood Magic 101, Exsanguination and you.
Again, would I get the extra die for...
Hunting, yes.
Okay.
Sigil painting with Rob Boss.
Thank you. That took me a second. Yeah, you did.
3 successes.
3 successes? Okay. You do manage to navigate the routes that Venro gave you, cutting it down to a total of 2 weeks instead of 3 weeks. You guys arrive at the new location on Resplendent Air 9. You guys will have 2 weeks of training time to use while you guys travel. Because you're traveling in a caravan, you will not need to worry about defending yourselves or food or anything else like that. Really, the survival check was just, oh, hey, no, he said to take this specific road. And they're like, really? Well, let's try it. And it ends up faster. And the caravan's actually really excited that they found this better route.
You have just listened to The Immaculate Chaos, released for free every Wednesday or live streamed bi-weekly on Saturdays, 1200 to 1700 U.S. Eastern. Be sure to join our Discord for the most up-to-date information and join the community. If you wish to support the podcast directly or need to catch up to the live show, be sure to check out everything offered through Subscribestar and Podbean. If you like the background music, please be sure to check out the related artists. Peter Rowe is the mastermind behind most of the music in The Immaculate Chaos. Till we once again meet in creation. Thanks for listening, Anathema.